evening, welcome to Does Football Standing, gentlemen, on this Monday evening. Great to have your company as per usual. I'm Devil Johnson here with the man himself. It's the famous Daddy. And also... welcome everyone in the live chat as well. Hope you're doing...
And Jake, how are you doing, son?
I was just about...
Well, you didn't need to. We've got Jake Johnson there on with us as well. Mm-hmm. Good evening to everyone on this beautiful wet evening. Where we are to thank you to all of you who aren't watching from out there. No, we're watching.
Right. Welcome along if you welcome along if you just joined us anyway. Yeah, of course we know you already here, Scotty B, because you appeared in the live chat before the stream even started.
How's the famous Daddy today? The famous Daddy isn't too bad, thank you. How's the famous Scotty?
And you know what we've had for dinner? He's had a tomato garlic bread, and I've had a doner wrap.
And I'm an absolute breath monster. But there you go.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay. Enough of that. 1 minute late. Yeah, hard luck. With the Daddy, of course. Yeah, still eating me pizza that I got at the weekend. Yep.
Must have been a big one.
Yeah, but it was some $12.50 deal or something from Domino's. They got 60% off.
Okay.
It would cost about 30 or something, he said. So got that for $12.50, yeah. He said the pizza was an extra large.
So you're feeding the 500 like?
That's what I was thinking. But there you go. Right, welcome along if you joined us anyway. Get your comments in live chat and do obviously like the stream. That'd be good. And let's get straight underway. Boro season review for 2020-2021. I'll just say it now. What a garbage season. But it can't have been much worse than the last one. It was, let's just say it was better than last season, but not by a massive stretch because it wasn't particularly good either. We had Neil Warnock in first full season at Boro. Personally, I don't think he's done a bad job, but I wish he'd stop playing the back three because it does not suit the team whatsoever. And at the same time, there's players that I don't think in the squad had a particularly good season. Spence was one of them. I didn't think he had a great season. Assombalonga, I'm glad he's going. Fletcher never got it. Well, he's gone anyway. Fletcher didn't get really a look in, really, because he obviously had the injury.
Well,
but it's been a strange season.
Yeah,
really.
Fletcher did a Craig Ignat years and years ago. That's how Craig Ignat ended up leaving because he asked for more money.
Yeah.
And Fletcher did exactly the same. Despite the fact that, the finances are a bit tight at the moment at the Boro, he decided that he felt he was worth more money. Longer was on 40k a week.
I mean, that was too much for a player like him.
Do you think he earned it? What do you think, Jake?
I wouldn't have even given him anything near that. He was poor all season, last season as well.
Yeah. Well...
Go on then.
It was in my perspective, I think it was a decent season. At least in the right at the bottom again. But we could have done better.
Yeah, it could have been much better, but it was, to be honest with you, it wasn't, it wasn't that sort of season that we were all expecting. I think a lot of people had very high expectations saying, we got Neil Warnock, right, we're going for automatic promotion. We were miles away from that because not only... Yeah, we have a manager with a lot of experience, and he is getting quite old now. He's 70-odd now, and he's still managing and going on for another season. I think the fact there was no fans in the stadium probably affected every single team in the league, other than Norwich. But for Boro, it's difficult because financial problems. We have enough financial issues at the minute. And, we're normally there to sort of give a massive boost to the team. And we weren't able to do that this season, nor last season, really, since lockdown started. And it's been strange, having to try and support our clubs from our sofas rather than being in the Riverside Stadium, where we rightly should be, being able to actually support the team on and, okay, we give them a lot of stick if we lose, obviously, but that Wickham game was absolutely garbage. I don't think anyone will have even, I don't think anyone will have took that one lightly at all. But it's been a strange season because there's been loads of ups and downs. We're very inconsistent is what another problem is.
Yeah.
We finished 10th because we were literally just outside the top 6 at one point. We were 7th in the league. We were actually in the top 6 at one point. We started losing games, lost to Bournemouth, ended up bottling the top 6, and now we finished only just about managed to scrape top 10 because of how bad we've been all season. So next season we have to improve on this because we can't be having another season like that. And I don't think Neil Warnock will accept it if we don't get into the top 6. But he's had to rely on loan signings and stuff because we have no money in the club. Even though people say Steve Gibson doesn't have any money, that's a lie because he's too busy spending it on other companies instead of actually putting it into the club that he cares about.
Yes, but don't forget that the Borough's £98 million in debt to Steve Gibson. That's what he's put in at the moment to keep it running.
Talking about the playoffs when we were in top 6, it's like they thought, oh, we've made it into the top 6, so let's just back our horses for the rest of the season and just don't try. That's what it seemed like because they were in the top 6, but then we started with form. We started players as well due to injury. So I just generally think they were just being lazy at the end, basically.
If we,
that's what I think from my perspective.
So do you think that if we had the injuries, it would have made a difference?
Probably.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. I don't know what was going on, but it seemed like your camera was freezing at one point in the stream. Just so you know, Elliot, Dad is not moody. If he is in the mood, it'll be because of Boro's season, because I think we've all got...
I'm not in the mood.
I'm telling you what, I'm so glad this season's done, because, my God, we were... Oh, it was a very, very stressful season. I don't think did we even get 6 points against any teams? Because I don't even think we did. I don't think we ended up getting 6 points against anyone. Rotherham, Wickham, etc. Couldn't even get 6 points out of them. We lost 3-0 at home to both of them teams. And we lost 2-1 to Derby as well, who nearly went down. Lost 2-1 at Sheffield Wednesday. We've been so inconsistent. We get one win against every team. And then we end up either drawing or losing the other game. So...
Yes, but as you know, I've been a Boro fan for...
Yes, we know.
53 years. Right? 53 years, right? And every season's the same. The Boro teams, it doesn't matter what team you put out, who's managing it or anything. The thing with Boro is they play badly against the lower teams and they play out of the bloody skin against the higher teams. Well, where the mentality comes from, I don't know, or why, but that seems to be the way that the Boro plays. I mean, for me, my opinion is we finished in the right position, 10th.
Well, we didn't deserve to finish any higher because we were bad all season.
I think...
lovely.
Is it banging down again?
Just that you know, we've got a thunderstorm over here. Jake will probably see from his window because he lives literally in the next area from where we are. Yes. So we practically live quite close to each other, relatively close to each other. So, it's absolutely peeing down. Let's just hope it doesn't affect the connection.
It's peeing down. It's raining as well.
I think let's hope it doesn't affect the connection up. So that would be ideal.
Yeah, I think this year was an improvement on last.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't have been much
You know,
worse.
last
It couldn't have been much
last year
worse.
was fun.
Yeah.
Last year, you can have that one, the beefy one.
No one else signed it.
Last year was dire, and basically,
this season was
Warnock came in and he sort of
not much better.
made the best of a bad thing. This season, I don't necessarily blame him. I actually think it's very much a case of the players haven't really fully entered into how we wanted to play. You know what I mean? Plus, I think there's been a few injury issues, obviously. I mean,
That doesn't help.
I mean, for me, Tav was hot and cold. Some games he did really well. You might not agree with me, but some games he did really well. And other games, you know, I looked and I thought, well, what's he doing? He's already
but it's
got a foot, you know what I mean?
It's not just Tav, though. It's
No,
not just Tav.
but-
The entire team has been up and down. We've had good games, we've had bad games. Yeah, we played. But to be honest with you, we didn't even play that well against half of the top teams. There's only Watford and Norwich that we actually had half decent games against. And the Norwich game, actually, we should have got 6 points out of them because we should have beaten them away from home. And at the same time at home, we should have had a clear goal because of that penalty, which was a so-called double touch. Now, I've never heard such balls in my life, to be honest with you. But double touch my backside. That's not even.
I'm not double touching your
No,
backside.
I didn't. No, I don't mean it like that. But that was never a double touch. It was absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, well.
By the way, our Ayambu Kamzahian. I'll get my teeth in. Our Ayambu Kamzahian. So here we go then. Here you go.
Our first half comes on, bro.
First half cans. It's our actual cans. Oh, Lord.
Are we ready? Are we ready,
all
everybody?
Together.
For the last time.
Well, for the last time in the
But
book.
for me, anyway.
Yeah. Until the England game.
Till the England game. Oh, yeah. Till
In about a month.
Game. Are we ready?
Here we go. And up you nose. It's not.
Man.
Oh, man. No good unless you're the bogey, man. Right.
God.
Right.
Not certainly snot funny.
No. Right. Do you think that playing the back three for Boro was the best defensive?
No.
No.
Would you
I
always
didn't like it at all.
Stick to four at the back?
The most annoying thing, right? We didn't have Dale Fry. Half our central defenders were injured, right? We're having to play. We were having to play like Mark Balders, one of the smallest players on the pitch, and you're playing him at centre back to try and win headers. Like that's never going to happen. He's always going to get jumped by these 6'6" tall people. You know. I mean, my dad could probably win a header against Mark Balders because he's probably twice as tall. You know, it's.
Exactly.
You can't put small players at centre back. You have to have tall centre backs who can get their head to it, and trying to make Mark Bowler man mark a play like that the Rotherham goal the other week from that Foyne. Foyne comes in and then it's headed in. The defender heading it against Mark Bowler. Mark Bowler's not going to win headers because he's not tall enough. If you've only got two centre backs, you have to play back four. Because Jed Spencer is not a right. He cannot play as a right wing back. We've seen that, and he hasn't even played well all season, to be honest. And I don't like the idea of Coulson playing as a left winger after time either.
No,
I've seen that happen before in the 3-4-3. We've had a bloody Coulson at left wing. Rather than if we're having the front three, right? The front three for us, Balassi. This is obviously next season. If we're going to play a front three, if we keep half of these players, because Akpom's certainly going to stay. I think that's guaranteed.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he'll stay on. What more if we can get him again? Because he was absolutely superb this season.
He's been given a contract.
Good. So, what more? Balassi if we can get him, and Akpom. That's what the front three should be. We should not be playing the back three because the back three is about as good as a wet fart.
Hey.
And I tell you what, we've had some good wet farts recently.
You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Hey, nice warm ones when you're cold. Ideal, I tell you. Right.
There's a few bum jokes for you. Right.
Oh, no, it is.
Oh, God.
Oh, never again. Never again.
You love it, really.
I tell you, that was the bottom line, that. Okay, there you
Don't
go.
be cheeky.
Oh. Might as well just give up.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I've got a question for you.
We're only 30 for a crack.
He's got a question. Oh, bloody hell.
Right.
Go on.
Right. In your opinions, who do you think was the signing of the season for us?
What more? We both agreed on that ages ago. What more?
Yeah, what more?
Well, it's got to be what more because he's the only one that's doing anything.
I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want?
I think that joke's getting old now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, yes, they all get old, don't they?
Well, most of mine are old, but there you go.
Oh, I haven't actually put my. There you go. I didn't put my banner on. I just realised.
Yeah, I think what more probably.
Yeah, it's got to be what more. He's been superb all season. I mean,
Yeah,
what's he got? 9.
Done well.
What's he got?
Do you
got
think
10 goals to his name or something? He's on.
Do you think we should next season play the kids a lot more?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'd like to play Coburn. Like a decent player.
I'll just to let you know, by the way, we weren't. Just so you know, we weren't giggling at your point. We were giggling because your camera and your sound froze at one point, and we were sat here waiting to hear the next bit. So it was good old connections when it's raining, isn't it? Always brilliant. So
that's the problem.
Yeah, that's what was going on.
That's the problem.
Yes. Can you get any comments in live chat, by the way, ladies and gentlemen? Of course. Up the daddy. Welcome, Keaton James, by the way, as well to the stream. Michael Loudon, hello. Tomar. Jay Dabar as well. Both season to get hold of pal. Been for the last 10 or 11 years now. Can't even remember.
Well,
10 years.
There's
Ollie as well. Welcome to
the rumours that we might get Dido from. Is it Bristol City? Is this?
Bristol City? Yeah. Ferradu Diado, or whatever his name is.
Don't you swear at me. Do you think that would be a good sign if we did get him?
It's a hard one, really.
According to a Bristol City fan that I asked, you won't know, but I did ask a Bristol City fan about him, and he said he's got the first touch like a tractor.
I don't know.
Steamrollers I'm in.
So, I mean, to put it this way, it might, if under the right manager, he might be fine. But well, I mean, if we do get him, he can't be much worse than the Sombalonga's been all season. 10 likes, by the way. Thank you very much, gentlemen. He can't be much worse than the Sombalonga's been.
Don't see it.
What do you think about Jed Spencer?
I just really don't think he'll be a good signing.
Jed Spence has been linked with Rangers actually for 5 mil.
For 5 million.
To be honest with you,
do you think he's worth 5 million, or do you think he's worth a bit more? Should we bleed him?
He has a lot of potential. He's only
As
young.
much as we can for him.
I'd say 7 million.
7 million.
Yeah, no more than that. No more than that. Because he was one of the star men last season. This season,
That was great last season.
This season, he's been one of the most awful players.
He's been
a terrible player.
But that's only since he came back from his injury. I think his injury knocked a lot of confidence out of him, and it's hard. Once you've had your confidence knocked out of you, whether you're a player or an average Joe like you or me, once you've had your confidence knocked out of you, it takes quite a while to get it built back up. And it's the same with footballers, you know what I mean? Come back from injury, they're always going to be a bit wary because they're going to be thinking, if they've had an ankle injury there, they're going to be thinking, God, I hope no one kicks me ankle and stuff like that. So then they're not going to go in for tackles as much and stuff like that. So I think a lot of his problems been down to the length of time that he was out through injury. And I think it's been a bit sort of, when he's come back, he's wanted to come back, but he's still something in the back of his mind saying, watch out for this and watch out for that. And it's for me, it made for a dodgy season for him, really, I thought, in the end.
I mean, injuries do make a bit of an impact.
They do. They make a hell of an impact.
By the way, welcome to... what is your actual name? Is it actually George or is it actually Chris? Because he's changed his name. He changed his name, right? So his name originally was Chris Ellington, who, by the way, watches the streams from the Australian land. So he watches from Aussie land.
Does he really?
Australia, yeah. So he was called Chris Ellington, right? And then he changed his name on here to George Becks. Is it George or is it Chris? Which one is it? Because at the minute, I'm just going to call you Chris because that's what I know you as. Don't know you personally, but there you go. Question from Tom R. And this is a decent point. By the way, Tom R will hopefully be joining us on Friday for episode 3 of This Week in Football. And don't forget tomorrow. Oh, we've got a busy schedule coming up this week. Tomorrow, United up against Leicester. We'll be live from 5:15. And then Thursday's United against Liverpool, live from 7:30. Friday, we're live at 6 o'clock for This Week in Football. And then Saturday will probably be the FA Cup final since Bayern are not televised. So I might have a game to do anyway. And then Sunday, I haven't got a clue. I don't think there's anything on Sunday. So there you go. But that's all I know for the minute. So Tom, anyway, has put, who do you want Boro to sign from the list of players being released by clubs? And he's just put something in here. By the way, this is the Reading fan, by the way, for those who don't know. Benteke, Dwight Gale, Andre Ayew, all out of contact, to name a few.
We couldn't afford them.
Well, no, we couldn't afford any of them, probably.
I mean, to be brutally honest, I would love Dwight Gale. Benteke is hit and miss. And Andre Ayew, for me, is hit and miss. I'd have Dwight Gale anytime.
The only problem is, right?
We couldn't pay him. We couldn't afford the wages.
The only problem is, when he has bad wind, he blows a gale.
Well, that went up a storm, didn't it?
I don't even think he's... don't think he heard it.
I don't think he wanted to hear it.
There you go. That was a garbage joke, wasn't it?
It was.
Right. So either of them players would be good, but I'd take all of them. I mean, we could do an actual striker that's better than Akpom, but if we're not going to be able to afford them,
this is it. To the end of the day, we need.
No, I think his connection's gone. I think his connection's going. That's
at the end of the day, we need a striker that's, for me, what you would call an out-and-out striker who bangs the balls in the net. Like years ago, you had.
He's changed it again.
Like years ago, you had the likes of Ravanelli. He knew where the bloody net was. He was what you call an out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
Branco was an out-and-out striker.
Who?
Branco.
Oh, Branco.
Alan Armstrong was an out-and-out striker. Bernie Slavin. was an out-and-out striker. He regularly got between 16 and 18 goals a season.
Jake's just messaging him having a couple of technical difficulties. What about Festa, whatever his name was?
Gianluca Festa.
Yeah.
He was a defender.
Yeah, he's still an eye for goal. He's a defender with an eye for goal, and that's something that we need.
Festa. Right. I liked him. It was good. If we could have the old defenders now, I'd be happier with the team as opposed to the defenders we've got.
Right.
Oh, hello, dear. Are you back?
Hello, back, yeah. Okay. Couldn't see Dwight Gale wanting more than 15k a week, and given he's only living up the road from Boro, no transfer free, and it could be a decent enough shout.
More than 15k. I think
he'll want more because he's a Premier League player at the minute.
Yeah, I think you're shooting up the wrong alley there, son.
He'd be wanting at least 30 odd.
He'd want at least 40 plus.
Mm.
And the idea is we're trying to get the wage bills down a little bit so that the money's available to actually.
I mean, if we could get someone permanently on a free, that'd be good. I mean, I'll tell you one player who I believe was a free agent and now plays. I think he plays for Cambridge. Actually, Wes Houlihan. Wes Houlihan now plays for Cambridge.
Yeah, Wes Houlihan. Yeah, no,
and he's what 37,
he was Norwich,
38.
wasn't he? Norwich
Yeah, he's about 37, 38.
Yeah, he was a good player. Yeah, but we don't want to be going for players that's too old.
Oh no, we don't want to be going for the old sorts.
We don't want to God's FC. You know what I mean?
Dad's FC.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, you look at it, Billy. You might as well just sign me up and be done with it. I tell you what, I bet I could score a few goals.
Well, me and you both.
Tell you what, I think I'll be able to score more goals than British Samba longer, to be honest.
Isaac Fletcher, by the way, you won't know him, but one of my mates from secondary school. By the way, why do you keep changing your name? Oh, sorry, that's Owen. Sorry, why do you keep changing your name? Just keep it to one name, makes it easier for me. Owen Coyle, hello.
Good evening,
looking forward to Cambridge United playing the Mighty Borough in the 22-23 season. Put it this way, mate, you'll be trying to survive next season. You won't get promoted next season. I don't think I know any team that's managed to get promoted in back-to-back seasons other than, I think, Leicester City a while ago when they went up from League One straight to the Premier League or something. And Bournemouth as well, don't forget Bournemouth.
Look, son, Owen, be realistic. If he gets the players in and they go off on the front foot and really do the job, then there's no reason why they can't. But then he's going to have to spend big to try and stay up because Cambridge, I think, is a smaller team. So therefore, they're going to need to do a lot of changes to the ground. And look, it could be costly for them to come up. So
their ground's not even that bad.
Be realistic and enjoy next season because, they've deserved.
I tell you what, by the way, if you lose that Mullen guy, you've had it. So he's been your top scorer of the season. He's been your star man this season as well. JCR, welcome to the stream, by the way, as well. Mark Viduka, an out-and-out striker.
Mark Viduka's superb, yeah.
Don't think we'll go up next year. To be honest with you, neither do I. Unless we get some of the right players. But to be honest,
I'll take every...
I didn't think we'd go up in 2016 and we did.
I won't...
Next season,
I won't make no predictions.
Yeah, next season.
To me, it all depends on who we get in and what sort of pre-season they have and how they start. People say, they start badly and this, that, and the other. But
look at Man City; they started terribly in the top.
Yeah, and they've won
the league.
They've won the league, so it's
lucky.
It depends on, well, whatever. But it's down to how they start, and So, yeah, I mean, it's been an improvement this year, but we have to continually improve, And if he gets the players in, and Warnock might be able to do the magic, but it's too soon to predict.
Well,
I reckon
Owen,
he'll get back by Gibson.
You agree with me there, Jake?
go on.
I reckon that Warnock will get backed by Gibson in this transfer window.
Eventually, yeah. Owen, Owen Coyle. It's Kieran's brother, Kieran Coyle's brother. Warnock will take Hughes up. I reckon he's a specialist. He may be a specialist in getting promotion, but he normally has half-decent players. We haven't got a half-decent squad, so there you go. We haven't got a squad that's capable of getting... We have not got a squad that's capable of getting up to the Premier League. Now, it's always difficult because it all depends on who we get in, if we get anyone in and who we sell. But we're going to have to make some changes to the team, and we need to stop playing the back three because that's not going to get us very far either. But it's not going to get us very far. Next season, probably being realistic, playoffs at the very most. I said that this season as well. I actually had us to finish 8th, so I wasn't far off.
Jake, 10th how would you change, or would you change the formation for Middlesbrough?
What would I change it to?
Yeah.
I'm not on about so much the players. I'm on about the overall formation. I'm a 4-4-2 guy, and I've always believed in that. I don't like this Europe.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. 4-4-2.
Yeah.
I've always said that. I don't like the European version.
Yeah.
4-4-2 could be the best option for us next season, really. But we just need the players to actually be able to play in that formation. That's why.
Bean Skins put here. He's put Jane. I think he's on about Jake, actually. I think that might be some typo. What team is better and why? What do you mean, what team? What teams?
Which team?
He hasn't said what team's better and why. I don't even know what he's on about. Is he comparing this one to a different season? Or if you compare it to last season, I mean, we've been better than we were. But isn't it typical how Jonathan Woodgate goes to Bournemouth and sends them into the playoffs?
Yeah, but they're going to.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully,
it's
not a better squad, much better.
It's because he has good players. He has good players. He has the Premier League players who can actually get themselves up into the Premier League. Jonathan Woodgate, in reality, is a good manager, but last season he didn't have the players to actually do what he could actually do, I reckon.
So don't you blame Jonathan Woodgate?
I don't blame Woodgate.
Not just that. Like, he didn't have particularly good
opinion.
Yeah, no. I'm just adding to that.
Yeah.
But yes, he didn't have the players to do it, and the players weren't particularly good. But at the same time, he was tactically inept. It was like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer last season, tactically inept after time. So I wasn't. I like Woodgate when he was a player, but I as a manager, I didn't think he was good enough.
So you think he was a risk?
Well, Steve Gibson went the cheap way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then he eventually decided to bring in Neil Warnock. When Warnock's been wanting to be manager for the past 20 years, actually. He's been wanting to manage Boro. JC has put some good points here today. Just to let you know, we'll be live for a maximum of an hour, about 45 minutes to an hour. We'll also be given play of the seasons as well. Warnock had the most backing of manager since 2015. We had the highest net spend in the summer with Warnock, bringing in Morsey and number one target Tuba. Was he really our number one target? Then we had a class. Yeah, we had a class January. He just put class January in that one. So we had a class January he's on about when we bought Tinkabano, Balassi, Mendes Lang, and then we ended up in relegation form because he was playing the back three. Like, you play a back three, it's a big risk.
You made some
back
valid
four.
points there.
Back four.
Yeah, you made some valid points there, son. And I can see where you're going. But, I mean, Mendes long hardly got his game. Cabano, I think he was a bit hot and cold. You know, for me, they didn't actually live up to the reputation that they'd created in the past. So whether they were Balassi, yeah, I like him. He holds the ball up well, and he does tee other people up. But we should never got rid of Patrick Roberts for me. Patrick Roberts could have done a job. You know, we haven't had Tav for quite a bit of the season because of injury. Now imagine what Patrick Roberts could have done. You know, he could have tortured a few of them because he's a class player. He actually scored at the weekend for the club he's at now. You know, I think it's... right?
I don't think we gave Roberts a proper chance, to be honest.
No,
I don't think we gave him a chance that he needed.
A lot of people got frustrated with him as well, though, because he just half the time he was really hogging the ball as well. A lot of people got very annoyed with that, saying, "Oh, he's just a ball greedy sod who does nothing."
Well, you can't tell me that there's one in all teams.
Well, no, of course it is. Of course it is. But he's, you know, when he was on the ball, he was a really good player. You know, he caused problems. There was occasions where he was, you know, just keeping hold of the ball all the time rather than actually making the pass.
Yeah,
but other than that, he was fine.
Why do you think he did that? In a lot of cases,
because he probably had an eye for a goal. That'll be mine.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, but maybe there was nobody in a better position.
Yeah, but most of the time, the ball plays in good positions, and he didn't pass to people when there was people in position to actually do anything. But well, he's not in the team. He's not in the team now, anyway.
No, it's a shame.
Warnock is. I don't even know what on earth is he on about. Warnock is good with. Is he on about Cabano or is he on about someone else?
No.
He's just
Gavano.
Next season.
Probably is. Next season, we'll either see us going up or he'll be gone come November. I don't think he'll be gone by November. I think he'll stay to the end of the season.
He'll stay to the season.
He'll stay to the end of the season because he'll want to retire on high. I think
whether we go up or not, he'll go at the end of next season.
Oh yeah, he's going to retire. He's going to retire at some point.
He says he's going to retire. So then it'll be a case of who's going to be the best then to take over Boro from Neil Warnock. That's going to be a conversation to be had.
There's a few managers that are possible. There's obviously it's almost guaranteed at the minute that Eddie Howe's going to go to Celtic. If he doesn't, I wouldn't mind him because he's a good manager. Who else is there? Well, we could have gone for Jose, but he's going to.
No, we couldn't have gone to. We've got to be careful. We don't go for these top managers
that wouldn't
again.
happen. But
you know, we made that mistake.
Trying to think who else is on.
What's his name?
Oh, Graham. What? Aito Karanka?
Yeah. Because
but it worked out.
Yeah, it was good. But the trouble with these what I call higher class managers is they want guarantees of a lot of money to spend, and when you're in the club that doesn't have a lot of money, it puts an incredible strain on the finances, you know what I mean? And if they don't get the finances to get the people they want in, then they're obviously going to be a little bit disgruntled. But obviously they'll have to get on with the job. What we you know, is the case of then making the best of what we've got, and he's not going to achieve what he wants to achieve. So Jose would never ever be a realistic target because he'd want to spend millions, you know what I mean? And go Steve Gibson and just say, sorry, I haven't got it.
Well, who could we get then?
I'm in the middle of building a hotel.
Yeah, literally is. That's literally what he does. Who else is there on the manager list that's not got a job at the minute?
Well, ask the guys. Who do you think should manage the Boro next after Neil Warnock?
don't think so. Don't think any of us know really. It's
got
different.
everyone thinking.
Don't know. There's people on. There's people who aren't in management stuff, so it's difficult.
Not a clue.
Lampard, I wouldn't want him.
Who?
Lampard, but I wouldn't want him. Oh,
No.
Jokanovic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a good... he did well. He was... wasn't he Luton manager?
Fulham.
Fulham, I said Fulham.
Says there. Ex-Fulham.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, he'd be a good manager, wouldn't he? That's how I liked him at Fulham.
Yeah.
Any other recommendations?
Don't know.
I'll pass them on to Steve Gibson. I wish.
JCR about Neil Warnock here. Made some questionable decisions this season. Warnock, the people forget about. Britt being captain, that went well. I don't know why he was captain in the first place. He obviously saw something in him that a lot of people didn't. And bringing in that shambolic Bettinelli. The thing with Bettinelli, by the way, was Bettinelli was absolutely brilliant with Fulham. He was absolutely brilliant for them. He came to Boro, and Dad always says this: a goalkeeper's as good as his defence.
Yeah.
The defence hasn't been good, and he has been garbage as well. So
basically being exposed.
Yeah, it's been
because our defence wasn't.
Warnock said he didn't come in to hang around mid-table and wanted to go up and enjoy it. And boasted about finishing 10th. Well, let's just say that we finished tied in a lot of other clubs did. Let's have a look. Cabano, Warnock, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Russell Martin from MK Dons. Russell Martin, I'm pretty certain he was a footballer, or was that Chris Martin I'm on about?
No, Chris Martin's from Coldplay.
Oh, what's his name? Martin. I can't remember how. I can't remember what his first name is. Never mind.
No, we'll keep these.
Don Warnes, hello. At this point, the only good managers aren't available. Or probably Karanka back. Yeah?
No. One thing I don't like is the idea of managers who've left.
Coming back again, yeah.
Because I think it can cause animosity because he'll come with a point to prove. And if he hasn't got the team to do it, then, you know, there could be just room upheavals. No, I don't agree with that. The best manager the Boro ever had.
Steve McClaren.
No.
Going back a while, then obviously.
No, going back a while. No, I can't even remember his name now. That's how far it's gone back.
Jack Charlton.
No, after him.
After him.
Before Robson. Can't remember. But what we need is a manager who's strict, you know. We need somebody who's strict, somebody who doesn't take no crap off them. And, you know, we don't want players who feel that they're bigger than the club. No one's bigger than the club. You know what I mean? The club's been there long before they arrived, and it'll be there hopefully long after they've left. So,
I agree. I totally agree with you.
There's a few more managers. There's a few managers here. So it's in after Jackie Charlton.
I'm trying to remember his bloody name.
John Neal.
No. Oh, he was crap.
Yeah, obviously remember that.
He was crap. John Neal.
Bobby Murdoch.
He didn't get much of a chance, really.
Willie Madwin.
Again, he didn't get much chance.
Bruce Rioch.
That's him. That's the name I couldn't remember. Bruce Rioch. Oh, he was an ex-sergeant major.
I didn't know Terry Venables was manager.
Yeah, he came in just to prop us up. Because I don't mean he was holding us up with his hand. We were struggling, and Brian Robson asked him to come and help him just to try and make sure we stayed up. And he did. He managed it.
Who's Lenny Lawrence?
Lenny Lawrence, yeah, he came from Charlton. He was okay. Got a few decent players, you know. But also, again, he had a few players that was
Garbage.
hit and miss. Play good. Like Richard Liebert, in you know, he came with him. And Liebert, when he was on his day, was quick. And he tortured people. And he was events. He played really well. But when he was on an off game, you could run rings around him without him even looking because it said wasn't there, you know. But Bruce Rioch, if you went there and you had a slight bit of growth like I've got, he'd send you home to have a shave. You were not allowed. You had to have your hair cut. He was boss, and they knew. And the 86 team, look how they did. They were all young players. Look how well they did. They got the leagues. And they did really well. And that's because they knew who the boss was. There's too much in football overall, I think, of this players thinking they're bigger than the club, like I said prior. They're bigger than the manager and the manager, you know what I mean? And the manager's just somebody who tells them, but because they've got a star name or whatever, that they're more important. And it's bollocks. Not put it mildly, but it is. It is absolutely. We need somebody who is going to say, right, you do as I say and play as I say. If you don't like it,
Tough.
There's the door.
What a way to say it.
Middlesbrough FC, if you're watching, Dad's new contender for the next Boro manager.
Yeah. So get your votes in. Hey, I wouldn't take any nonsense.
Anyways, this is a big question. MK Dons are good, but have they played Fulham before? This is going to take a big answer. No. Oh no, they actually have done, haven't they? Yes, Championship. Not very much, and I don't think they did particularly well either. Bettinelli got to be up there with Lonergan and Guzan, with one of the worst goalies I've seen in the bullshit. Guzan wasn't even that bad. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't bad either. He had a decent game at the Stadium of Pride, but that was about it. That was the only game he played, really. Russell Martin's ex-Norwich. So he's a footballer, obviously. So I think he's on about trying to bring him in. I don't know. Yeah. No, it wasn't Brian Robson. Oh, he's saying Brian Robson was the best manager. Nah, for me, it's Steve McLaren. Got us to the European final and we bottled it. Rioch. Yeah. No, the Rioch is in Coventry, actually, isn't it? Oh, no, sorry, yeah, Bruce Rioch. Yeah.
Rioch, he lives in Anglesey now.
Anglesey? Oh, well, that's where a lot of the mathematicians live in, Anglesey.
Oh. That was a cute joke.
And that was a problem waiting to be solved. That's right. Okay, and yes, Lonergan was good. Oh, really? Okay.
Do you know
that
a lot of people have problems with statistics and fractions? At least 3/5 of people do.
Yeah. And that's why 5 out of 4 people will admit that they're bad at fractions.
Oh,
so
right, yeah.
Hello, Mia.
Hello.
Sorry. Nah, JC has put you for real. Are you talking about Lonergan? Lonergan wasn't that good, to be honest. I was never a big fan of Andy Lonergan.
Shea Given, I liked him when he came.
Oh, Shea Given was good. Yeah, Andy Lonergan didn't really stay for long. To be honest, he went.
Didn't stay for long ago.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, didn't stay for long. He'd gone. There you go.
Well, he is. He's long and gone. It's called a play on words.
Yes.
Oh, pardon, not the bells.
John Reagan, I'm an Ursus will comment.
Good evening, John. Good morning. Wie geht's?
Given was class. Yeah, he was very good, wasn't he? Yeah, he was very
Given
good.
was good, yeah.
Oh, is that coming through on your? Is that coming through your device? Oh dear! I think the only decent player we had, Duncan Watmore, with 9 goals. He was star man this
he did
season.
well. We agree.
Mejias, don't even get me started on Thomas Mejias. Oh my god, I did not like him one bit.
So would you say that Watmore was the player of the season?
Mostly, yes. Mostly, yeah.
Ow!
So who would your top 3 be for Boro this season?
Watmore would be first.
Good, thank you, Does.
First, well, Watmore obviously first. Second maybe is Johnny Howson. I think Howson's had a good
Johnny
season.
I'd say Dale Fry. Second.
Careful, Daryl, you'll pull yourself.
Third, I don't know to put for third. McNair, maybe. Thank you. McNair, possibly, although he's had a few cock-ups this season. Bowler's had an okay season. Dijksteel, when he plays, isn't too bad either. I don't know. I don't know to put for third. I mean, Saville's also. I think Saville's also had a half decent season as well.
Right, guys. Who do you think the top 3 is for Boro this season?
For me, Watmore, Howson, Fry, yeah, not about Fry because he hasn't been playing recently. Hall's been okay. Hall's not been a massive. Yeah, Fry possibly. That would probably be my top 3. But it's difficult to pick a third place, really. You got the first 2, and then the third one's difficult. Bettinelli's play of the season. You mean worst play of the season? So Marcus Rashford is a big helper and good football player, scored a lot of goals. Marcus Rashford does not play for Middlesbrough. He plays for United, and he's actually been half decent for United this season. Just nowhere near as good as Bruno Fernandes. With regards to goals.
Certainly not for diving for the penalties. But we won't go into that.
I mean, no one could complain about the Aston Villa penalty yesterday. It was a definite pen.
Do you think a lot of Boro's results have gone down to bad luck?
That's hard to say, really.
Yep. Keep your predictions coming. Who you think's the best top 3?
Shout out to Ball, a big improvement as well. He said
he has improved over definitely.
All right, ta-ta, mate.
All right,
Tatty boggle.
bye.
Who would you put in your top 3 then?
Right. First, obviously, it has to be Duncan Watmore. Second, I'd probably put Dale Fry in there.
Okay.
Second, okay.
Third, Johnny Howson.
So we can guarantee, you can guarantee those 2. Well, it's the same as mine practically, apart from Feinhausen in different ways. So,
there's some about the fair play.
Yeah. Lufa. Oh, by the way, I will mention it. We will be mentioning it on This Week in Football. It's on Friday night. Come and tune in.
Hello, Lufa.
Right. Lufa Patterson, hello. Tata. Yeah, Tata.
Yeah. Ciao for now.
Tatty Boggle, yeah. Marshall, have you heard Derby could be relegated due to financial fair play rules? That would mean Wickham would stay up. Ooh. So Wickham could stay up.
I'm not sure which season they're actually possibly doing the deduction.
It'll most likely be next season.
So,
because the season's already
I read this morning because I saw you, didn't I?
Yeah, it'll be most likely next season.
Question, guys. When you finish Billy Partners here.
Whose signatures did you have on that retro blue waist shirt? That one you wore the other day from 1997.
Gazgamandia. But it was all the players around that time. Give us 150 quid, you can have it. As I'm thinking about putting it up for sale.
Okay.
But for about 150 quid.
Yep. Well, by the way, we'll be wrapping up the stream in a couple of minutes because we are 55 minutes into the stream. I didn't know we'd been on for that long.
Yeah,
Doesn't time fly when you're enjoying yourself talking about how garbage this season's been?
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Who do you think should be?
No.
Does Dud support any other teams?
He seems injured. What size is it? Someone will probably like extra
It's,
large. XL?
XL.
It's XL now.
XL. I like to know Hartlepool's doing okay, but that's only because that's where I was born. I'm not a monkey younger, but that's where I was born. So I like to know that they're doing okay.
Not going to lie, I've been keeping an eye on them this season.
Yeah, but as far as actually supporting them, it's Boro. I'm Boro, Boro through.
Since he was free, he's been
Like
for
5 over the first match. My dad used to lift me over the turnstiles at Ayrton Park. Guys, who do you think should be the next Boro captain? Because I don't think Housen should do it. But who do you think should be the next Boro captain?
Fry, Paddy, maybe?
No.
I'd say Fry.
Not
If I'm being honest, I'd say Fry.
Yeah,
Fry.
Why?
Fry tends to boss around that defence more than any bugger else does. Is Hall someone's coach, Grant Hall? For me, it's got to be for me, it has to be a defender, not a striker. A defender mostly, because whoever's leading that defence has not just has a massive job in their hands, but if you're the captain, you've got to really make sure that you've got to keep motivating the team. And Asombalonga never does that. He's not the sort of player that would motivate the team. And it's the defence. The defence needs sorting out. So it has to be someone in that back line who can boss that defence around, and can make sure that they're doing their job properly. So there's a few. Housen plays in centre mid, but I suppose he's been good, but does he have the leadership trait? That's the main question.
The thing is,
I don't think Watmore won't be captain.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen. Nice idea. I don't think it'll happen though.
You need
McNair captain and vice captain.
But you don't just need a captain that's going to boss around the defence like you
said.
You need a captain that's going to motivate the team, get the team going. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's what's missing.
And we also tend to build up on the back, so we tend to go forward from the defence. And I know before we've had one or two defenders go forward. Grant Hall's got into the box a few times. It's always risky having attacking defenders because you lose the ball, and there's no one's back. You're literally going to be in for 1-0. You're going to end up conceding. So it's difficult because it has to be someone with the leadership trait. And the Asombalonga hasn't got that.
No, he has definitely not got that trait. Not at all.
I'd probably do a better job.
What about Balassi if he stays? Do you think he would have a chance of captaincy at all?
We need like Grant Lebeter was a CDM.
Yeah.
So we need someone. We need basically a captain like him, which I'm sad that we're not going to be able to get him back.
Sam Morsey.
Yeah,
Morsey,
he's particularly like Morsey, to be honest. I mean, he doesn't take any prisoners, put it that way, but I'm not a big fan of Morsey.
Well, that's what you need, somebody who doesn't take no prisoners. Years ago,
I know
when I was watching, when you had Jamie Pollock and the likes of Gary Hamilton. Gary Hamilton was one of the dirtiest players at the Boro. If he come off with both legs, he hadn't had a good game. He really used to go into the ball. The amount of time he was booked was unbelievable. But we loved it. That's what we want. That's what we're missing in the game. That was part of the excitement. Yeah. A really good tackle, and everybody in the crowd sort of went, "Oh, that's what you wanted," because it made for the atmosphere. So I think because of all the money,
exactly.
I worry about the high paid because of all the money that players are getting paid and what have you. They don't like the risk and all the rest of it, and this insurance and stuff like that. They're too protected now by the referees. Does anyone agree with me?
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I have to agree with you. Have to.
Well, you don't have to agree with him.
No, you don't
If
have
you
to,
if you
but
disagree,
I'd
then
often
that's
get
fine.
triggered.
No,
If you
I don't disagree at all. I mean, it's something that I'd happily agree with. You know what I mean? Like, it's true.
Didn't know we had a player called Pollock.
Yeah,
It
Jamie
sounds.
Pollock.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I bet there was some fishy business going on.
Good God.
Haddock enough of that.
How I am hard of herring beer yourself.
There's always a red herring, isn't there? All right.
He's breaming all over. Right. We need a player that embodies the club and loves the club. Yep, you're
And
right.
we've got
Dan.
one in Dale
I agree.
Fry.
You're
George
right.
Friend was one of them. Gibbo was one of them. Fry's one of them.
Yeah. I agree. Well done. Right.
Yep. Right. I think we've probably said about as much as we needed to say, but the main point is it's been a better season than last season, but next season we have to go on and try and get into that top 6 at least, because hasn't been a particularly good season, but it's been better than last season, and at the same time we've just been very inconsistent from start to finish.
I've got one more question.
Yeah.
You don't need to put your hand up, by the way. I'm not a teacher.
Yeah, no, but I just do it because I thought we were gonna end the stream. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, last question.
You're the toilet.
Would you be interested? Would you be interested in Charlie Mike coming into the squad next season on a free?
I didn't catch what he said. Say again.
No, say again because you broke up a little bit there.
Would you like to see Charlie White in a Boro shirt next season?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, yeah, that'd be
He is a Boro lad traditionally, isn't he? You know, so yeah.
Good player. And we need to get some of the young involved. Need to get some of the youngsters involved next season as well.
Yeah.
But
I also think that we need to give Mally, Coburn, and a couple of these youngsters. For me, we should be building the squad around them, not these older ones. Build around them, and use the pre-season to build them up. Because I think they could have a good season if they're given the chance.
Yeah. So that's it, I think, for this season.
We're going to look forward to.
Hopefully, next season will be better and hopefully more consistent. I don't mean consistently bad, but hopefully better and more consistent with regards to wins than we have been this season. There's been win, draw, defeat, win, lose, defeat, and like that. We don't seem to win many games.
To be honest, I don't mind us losing if I've seen that we've really tried hard.
And against Wickham and Rotherham, we didn't even attempt it.
We didn't turn up.
So
that's when I get a bit upset because I think to myself, well, you know, they look like Brazil and made us look like
San Marino.
Harrogates or something like that.
San Marino.
Well, you know what I mean? Then we made them look good, and that's where I get a bit sort of up to, you know, to myself, well, hang on. You know, on paper, we should be whopping these. And, you know, they just didn't turn up.
Yeah.
That's when but if they lose 1-0, 2-0, and, you know, the other team is really had to work for that 3 points, then fair enough. You know they put up a good fight, but when they don't, you know. So I'm hoping for more guts in having a go, shoot on sight. Never mind all this pussyfooting around and trying to play it into the box all the time and try and walk it in. It doesn't work. You know, I have a very shoot on sight. That's because I'm not very mobile anyway. When I play five-a-side, I'm always shooting on sight. And to a degree, as I have a good high percentage of score, and I score well.
He stands about 10 yards offside.
Well, who cares? But the thing is, I'm entitled to. I'm the oldest player there.
He actually is as well, man.
I am, yeah. The thing is, you know, like Dan said, we need somebody who embodies the club, and I fully agree with that. That's a good answer. It's right. Somebody who lives and breathes Boro. But it's whether we're able to find them people.
Which is not easy to do.
You know what I mean? Friendly, he did, because he's moved on now. It's a case of where we're going to find the next one that does that. But I appreciate all the comments, all the answers to the questions that I've asked. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back again next season, obviously, for the next 4 ones. Hopefully, for the home games, we'll be actually doing vlogs. So that would make a change, rather than us sitting on our backsides doing watch-alongs. So there won't be as many watch-alongs next season if we're back in stadiums, all being well. Dad will be back. Dad will be back featuring when England play from the 2nd of June. So that's not for a couple of weeks. It's about 2 or 3 weeks. Jake, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll be back.
Yeah, you can go to the toilet, son.
No, only go on loose shifts. All right.
Yeah, you get time and a turd for that. Oh. Right, okay.
So, yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Cheers for your support.
See you soon.
Yeah. Cheers for all the support this season. It's been absolutely amazing. The spot's been incredible. And obviously, we've managed to hit the 1,480 mark by the end of the season as well. Let's get up to 50. let's get up to 1,500 as soon as possible. I think we're only 16 or 17 away now.
You want to go to the toilet twice,
so we're not far away. But we appreciate it all, ladies and gentlemen. It's been brilliant. Duncan Motmore quite rightly gets the Player of the Season award. Hopefully, he gets the actual Player of the Season award for Boro as well, because he's been absolutely superb. And it's on to next season for us. Cheers for joining. I'm back again tomorrow with Manchester United as they play Leicester City at 5:15. Join me then, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Up the Boro!
Up the Boro!